Memories. That's all I know for the cat song. We should give Cats and Sonic the Hedgehog a chance. I am bringing this up because, well, I'm interested in pop culture and I like to see why things get popular and then why things get negative press as well. But I always try to remain positive. And what's interesting about these movies that are coming out is, well, you have this top-notch quality of movies, and then you have like the movies that aren't kind of like top-notch. They're kind of second-rate. And CGI has come a long way since back in the days. But then, well, you see these movies coming out, and then you're thinking, you know what? Actually, the CGI was better when Terminator 2 came out, and they're at like Terminator 6 that's coming out, and it's a similar style as Terminator 2, but the CGI is questionable. It's like, well, maybe we're taking a step back in some areas. And what it is, well, maybe it's just the talent isn't there, or the technology's gotten so progressive that we're putting out things that are almost too perfect, or maybe I don't know. I'm not really an expert on animation, but maybe coming out with this weird CGI style is a way of attracting some sort of attention. Because if it's too perfect, then it becomes kind of eerie. Now, I mean, Disney seems to continue to do it quite well, and they're continuing to do live action remakes, and they're like the top end of animation. They know what they're doing, and everyone else hasn't really figured it out. But I think we should give Cats, so if you've seen Cats, the trailer recently came out, and the cats look kind of strange. They don't really look quite normal. But then I'm thinking, you know what? None of these Broadway plays look quite perfect. Like, the cats look strange. So, you know, maybe giving it a shot would be a better approach than rating trailers badly. These movie trailers are like the make or break of movies. And what's interesting is that a lot of data and research goes into movie trailers and determining the success of a movie. Because, well, negative press can have a huge impact. Positive press, like all this word of mouth, is really critical for these movie studios. So Sonic is a good example. Sonic the Hedgehog, and I haven't seen this too often, but the trailer had such terrible word of mouth, people complaining about the Sonic the Hedgehog character, that now they're delaying the movie so they can redo Sonic. They're going to redo the character so that they can improve on the style. And I didn't really mind the character. Like, I was excited that they're coming out with a movie and Jim Carrey's in it. I'm thinking, hey, this will be fun. I wasn't really too particular about the CGI, but there was a huge outcry, and everyone was just like, whoa, he's just not right. So I guess there are quite a few enthusiasts out there. And, well, the movie studio obviously wants to make a movie that's profitable. So if the true fans don't like the character, then perhaps the studio felt obligated to adjust their character, make it better. So that's what they're working on. And now it's getting pushed back to the next tier. And maybe it'll work, maybe not. But, you know, I haven't seen that too often where you'll get like a massive delay based on a movie trailer. There are delays during production, of course, but seeing an audience affect the development of the movie like that before it's even released, that's really fascinating to me. So it's interesting how we're seeing this. And maybe it's because there's so much pressure for theatrical releases. You see, there's so many more options out there today to watch content, to watch stuff on TV, right? So if you're going to release a movie in the theaters, then you really want to make sure that you're putting out something that's going to produce, because, well, the production is getting more and more expensive. So that's why you have to look at this. But I think we should give these movies a shot and see what happens, because I don't really mind unique ways of doing CGI, and, you know, giving things a try could work out, and it might not. But you know, if we just keep looking at Disney as the gold standard, nobody will ever want to create ever again. It's like, how do you compete? A lot of people do not have the kind of budget that Disney has to get the best people in there. No different from maybe a YouTube channel that makes animated videos, and they have a staff of 30. Well, they're naturally going to be making better CGI, better everything, better content, production quality will be through the roof. It'll be better than anyone else who's maybe a one-man show, one-woman show. So you can't really compare what other people are doing. You have to kind of create your own little style, and if it's different, if it's weird, that's okay. And I'm okay with things that are maybe a little bit different. So hopefully, if somebody's out there maybe looking at the gold standard and thinking, how can I compete with that? I think maybe adjust the thinking and say, well, I'm going to do what I can do, right? You see, I'm not recording in 4K. I'm not recording in 3D. I'm not recording in virtual reality or 360-degree camera. I'm not doing that. It's a very basic camera setup with one of these Blue Yeti mics. So it's very simple. And now I could go and spend a bunch of money. I could go spend like 10 grand and get massive production quality. But, you know, I think the message is more important than the production. And I think the content and what's being delivered, the story I'm trying to tell is more important than how it's all delivered. Because you still see videos out there that are like low resolution and they're still getting tons of views. So it's not so much the quality or the talent of this production, it's more so what kind of story are you trying to tell. And I mean, the cat story, I guess, is highly acclaimed. It's massively popular. Everyone's obsessed with it. So obviously there's a lot of pressure on them. Sonic the Hedgehog, same kind of thing. I think Sonic is just going to be like a fun action movie. And honestly, I don't expect much in terms of plot or anything like that. So I think it'll just be a fun thing to check out. I don't think CGI is a really critical piece to that. So, you know, I enjoy having these fun movies come out. I'm kind of big into movies. I've probably seen more movies than I need to. And at the end of the day, the story is what matters, and kind of fun that the audience can get out of it. And this escape, right? It's always an escape when you're watching a movie. And that's always exciting. So yeah, I hope we just give these all a chance and see what happens. Okay. That's all I've got. Thanks for tuning in. Okay, bye.